Hello class, this is Ms. Martins and we are in Unit 7 Solutions. This is actually the last lesson and I hope you guys are excited as I am for this unit. Today's objective is students will be able to state the effect of solute on the boiling point / freezing point of a solution. Boiling point and freezing point are known as colligative properties, so let's keep this in mind throughout the lesson. Before we go into colligative properties, I would like to refresh electrolytes. Recall that electrolytes are solutes that dissociate in solution. They conduct electric current because of free-moving ions, examples acids, bases, most ionic compounds. They are crucial for many cellular processes. They are obtained in a healthy diet. For sustained exercise or a bout of the flu, sports drinks ensure adequate electrolytes. Non-electrolytes are solutes that do not dissociate. They do not conduct electric current because there are not enough ions. Dissociation occurs when neutral combinations of particles separate into ions in an aqueous solution. So sodium chloride will dissociate into Na plus and Cl minus. Sodium hydroxide will separate into Na plus OH minus, and acetic acid would separate into CH3COO minus plus H plus. Why do we put salt on ice in the winter? So we're going to analyze this table in order to understand colligative properties and what it has to do with putting salt on ice in the winter and how are electrolytes involved and so forth. So colligative properties depend on the concentration of a solution. So our textbook freezing point for water is 0 degrees Celsius, and our textbook boiling point for water is 100 degrees Celsius. The other values on this table are fabricated. When we have water and a little salt, we can say that our freezing point would decrease to about negative 11 degrees Celsius. Our boiling point, however, would raise to about 103 degrees Celsius. If we add more salt than we began with here, we would see an even bigger decrease. Like we'll see more of a decrease in our freezing point to about a negative 18 degrees Celsius and a higher increase of our boiling point to about 105 degrees Celsius. So we can state, based on the trends in this table, that the more solute you have, you'll see a higher decrease, like more of a decrease with the freezing point and a higher boiling point of your solution. Adding salt decreases the freezing point and increases the boiling point elevation. This is honestly the key slide for colligative properties. Just understanding what adding a solute does to your solution is very essential for answering questions on colligative properties. So if we have a pure solvent, once again, compared to a solvent and a solute, the solvent with the solute inside would have an increased boiling point and a decreased freezing point. Which one of these is the electrolyte? So how is our electrolyte connected to our colligative properties? So first, let's answer this question. C12H22O11 is a covalent compound. Covalent compounds are known as molecules. They stay together for the most part when they are dissolved in an aqueous solution. So this is an example like of a sugar. So it still will be soluble in an aqueous solution. However, it will not dissociate. Whereas we have a salt placed in an aqueous solution and we would have Na and Cl. Our salt will dissociate. So the salt, NaCl, is going to be our electrolyte. This is going to have a bigger impact on the freezing point and the boiling point. So for our salt here, we'll see an even more decreased freezing point and a higher boiling point than we would for this non-electrolyte here. We're going to answer a couple of questions to check for our understanding on colligative properties and how it connects with electrolytes and so forth. What happens when salt is added to water? So please take time to pause this video, come up with an answer, and then play it again. So if you chose the answer 2, you are correct. The freezing point of the water will decrease and the boiling point of the water will increase. So basically, this question is the most generic question when talking about colligative properties, and it's why I asked initially, why do we put salt on ice in the wintertime? We put salt on ice because the freezing point of the ice will decrease, leading to the ice melting quicker, right? We don't want ice around in the winter. That causes accidents. We can slip and fall. So we put salt on the ice so that it could melt quicker and not stay around. Which concentration of a solution of CH3OH in water has the lowest freezing point? So CH3OH is not an electrolyte. It's a non-electrolyte. However, it's still a solute that would be placed in a solution. So it will still have an effect on the colligative properties. From the table that we looked at before with the water and the salt, we saw that if you add more salt, you would have a bigger impact on the colligative properties. So the higher the molarity, the lower the freezing point would be. So the answer choice that has the highest molarity is going to be 1. 0.1 molar has the highest concentration of CH3OH, and that will lead to the lowest freezing point. Question number 3, our last question. Which of the following solutions will boil at the highest temperature? So which of these following solutions would have the highest boiling point? So we're looking for the answer choice that would have more solute, and it has to be an electrolyte because electrolytes have a bigger impact on our colligative properties. So we can automatically cancel out 3 and 4, and 2 moles is greater than 1 mole, so our answer is going to be 2. 2 moles of electrolyte dissolved in 1,000 grams of H2O. If you're having trouble with that, just review the beginning of the video. I will also place a reading on the Google Classroom that can understand colligative properties, that can help you to understand colligative properties even more. Exit ticket for today: read the textbook pages because it makes this topic so much more relatable regarding colligative properties, and complete the exit ticket. Once again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, post them on the Google Classroom. We will be having an exam this Friday, so make sure you study, study, study. I am always here for you. I hope that you guys all enjoy your day. Thank you for listening.